Hello there guys, and welcome to another Space Engineers live stream. Let's see, who have we got in the chat tonight? Hello! General Kenobi. Yes. Hey Scouter, Climbs, I see Blitz, Jakarin, Jace, B-Swiss, Jay, John, Demetrium, Jorgen, Nightwalker, Climb, Demetrius, Scalable Guy, Savage Oxygen, Venison, Captain Jack, Norby Park, John Wack, Illard, Falafu, and more. Hey, hold on a minute. I need to, that reminds me, I need to add that as a, I need to make that person a mod, but yeah. Good to see you. Where's my beard? It's had an accident at the weekend, guys, so you know. So the plan is today, we might be joined a little bit later by some of the team. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the changes to the economy that you guys can now test right now. The public test, the second public test is live, so you guys can get stuck in right away. And I'm going to showcase some of the things that changed, and we'll get stuck straight into it, and hopefully also answer some questions that you guys might have about the economy and about the public test. So yeah, let's. Greeting some hot Russia. It is very hot. It is very hot at the moment. It's not so hot in Prague. It's like just over 30. But I know in many places it's 40 or more actually. So it's pretty uncomfortable for us Europeans at the moment. Change. It's gorgeous. Hey Danero, welcome. I look young, do I? Right. I have the game up. So let's do... Just gonna turn the music down. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. Let's see if that's okay. Okay. All right, that should be good now. So who's been playing the test already? I mean, we can get one of the moderators to post the details how to connect to the server, and also we can. If just post the beta passwords for you guys, just how you want to join this. It's one of these things where you go to Space Engineers in your Steam library, Properties, then the Betas tab, and then you paste in this special code which will unlock the public test branch. Fantastic, Climb. I'm hyped. Sounds good. I know that one of the changes is that there's VST support now for for part of the economy. So I'm actually going to get the list up myself and just kind of go over it, and then we can go over it in game. So let me just find this again. And I will. Yeah, I'm glad you like it, Klein. So I'm going to do. There we go. That's the in-game now. Okay. Game should be paused. There we are. Back on the same platform as last week. Just wanted it's a nice kind of summary of everything in the update. So we'll start here. I'll increase my FOV as well. That will be good. Yeah, the test is a branch, Snarky, indeed. Yeah, and Blitz is linked it up there. So if you check out that Steam community link, there's all the details, and I'm going to actually use that link now as well to tell you guys a little bit about it. We've got a couple of new small things, including new models for the med kit and the power kit, which I can... Something is different. Hair is on point, but completely different. Yeah, something happened at the weekend. Let's just put it that way. There was some members of the community which decided to I don't know how to. I'm not sure how to word it, but it was not by choice. It was a bet. I lost a bet, pretty much. Let's say it like that. Let's say it like that. So, right, here we go then. So, I'll quickly go over the main features of the economy, which you guys should know about, just based off last week and maybe some of the other videos that some of our content creators put out. But I will go over the main economy thing because maybe this is the first time that you guys are hearing about this. So, NPC trading stations, AI-controlled stores and contracts. There's the contracts and the contract block, and the store block and the safe zone block. New items, data pads, zone chips, consumables, and space credits. There's a global faction reputation system. There is now in-game currency. There's player-to-player trading. There's new admin tools. And yeah, the consumables of being a med kit and a power kit. Yeah, someone can just post the password themselves as well. If someone wants to post the password into the stream chat, that's no problem at all either. Now, the difference with today's update, because that's kind of the general feature list from last week. The difference is for this test is that all players will start with 1 million space credits for the purpose of the public test. So you've got a small loan of 1 million space credits, and that will allow you to play the game a little differently, because suddenly then you'll be able to buy some components, even buy some small ships. So it's kind of a test, and we're just seeing how it will change if people have more money to start with, because one of the things this update is a big deal, is the balance of this update. So that's one thing. There are more grids in the repair contracts, so when you get told to repair something, there's a lot more options for that. So rather than feeling quite repetitive, there is more options for repairing. There's a new icon and model for the medkit and power kit. There's a check now that safe zones cannot overlap. I think to prevent people from kind of consuming other people's safe zones and overriding rules, if you see what I mean. Someone could have built a safe zone on the outside of someone else's, on the outskirts, and then change the rules. So there's now a check to stop that happening. Although I don't know about the details of that, and it's possible that it's a checkbox, so to speak. So you can kind of allow or maybe you can allow your own safe zones to overlap. It just stops enemies from overlapping or something like that. So that's something I need to check myself. Maybe the guys in chat know how that works, but there's definitely a good point because there was concern about people exploiting safe zones. The store block's been added to the blueprint to the assembler. And the most exciting thing I'm excited to show you guys is the new economy-themed pictures to the LCD picture selection. And I'll get onto that in just a second. Final changes we've got coming up. We've got the support for store and contracts in visual scripting, which is a big deal for those scenario creators out there and campaign makers. Assembler inventories to contracts. Assembler inventories to contracts inventory selection UI. Okay, I need to look at this to understand that point properly. There's more gas for sale on NPC stations, so more stations will be able to act as a refueling depot. And they're the new additions. We have a couple of changes. Safe zone textures, SPC file to be more modding friendly, so modders should be able to have some more fun with the safe zones. And the contract accept window is now easier to read, and that's the kind of the changes. All the rest of them are fixes. There's around, let's have a little flick through here. Wow, yeah. There's maybe 20, 30 fixes with some tweaks as well, and you can go through all the details there, but I'll leave that up to you. I just wanted to go over the main points of this new test. And I'll also get on to questions if you guys, I'm sure you guys still have questions about it. So let me just show the new stuff, and then we'll have some more time for questions in a little bit. So just hold your thoughts, and we'll get around to it. Okay, let's find... So just going to turn off the, pause the sun rotation. It's a small thing, but it's quite, for me it's, right, okay. My thoughts are leaking. Is this young Zockley? Oh yes. Welcome, Zadini. Now, the stations haven't been updated yet to actually have these featured, but this is going to be a big deal for those of you looking to make your own stores. So let me get some LCDs up and show you just what was added to the LCD selection. This is just perfect for the economy. So I tell you what, rather than just slap something down really simple, I'm going to make it a little bit more nice. Let's get some pillar blocks and try. I want to make a billboard. So let's do this. Let's do that. It's probably too wide, but we can see. Oh, we can have two separate. Wait a second. Mounting positions. How would I? I know what I'll use instead. I'll use the bases. That'll look a bit better. Small. There's a number of options you could use to mount LCDs freely. I'm just okay. All right. So here we have 2 LCDs. Let's take a look at the new options that we have here. Content, text and images. And now we have a load of new screens that we can put on. Now beforehand we just had up to white screen and grid. But now we have a load of economy featured pictures. Let's try how this looks. I need to check this is... Add selection first. Okay, add the stored selection. There's the first one. So you kind of got like, and it's not just LCD. It's kind of been made to look like this neon kind of feelings, neon vibe. Let's see what else we've got here. So both NPC stations, I hope, will be getting an update to this, but also your own stations will be able to really kind of make it feel a bit more authentic, right? So SC here, it says. So we're going to have a lot of charts. Okay. So just, and this, what's nice about this, of course, you guys are able to use many mods or even the image converter by Whiplash to make your own images. But of course, there is some benefit to having some ones just ready to go right in game that are already, the textures are already saved in the game, right? So let's put a couple more down here. Just make a little ridge here of different LCD projections. We can maybe even try and see how they play out on the 2x1 LCDs as well. Yeah, for general LCD, it can be used for economy, and also these can also, I believe, be coloured as well. So if we come down here, maybe you'd rather have like a bright yellow kind of store icon. So we can come down here and we can scroll down. I think, wait, no, I've got to get it right. I think how do we do it? Yes, there we go. Let's remember how I do this. Yes, you can. Blue. The way they've been done, it can be quite hard, but you can kind of see how I've shifted that now to do it like that. So you basically change the background again. Maybe the aesthetics of your ship is more of a green design. So we can come down here and we can boost that up to there, and then suddenly we've got some green panels. So there is some ways to actually customize these new things. Just okay. So again, let's have a look. Text and images, and we could add some. We got SC here. We'll add that. This is the first time I'm seeing some of these, but like, I'm just imagining these sticking out the side of things, like bleep bleep bleep. There we go. So different vibes for these pictures, but perfect for making your space shops. Buy SC cheap. So right, we got coins icon. I'll put them all. Okay, like a wallpaper kind of repeated texture pattern, which you can make as big as you like. Got a lot here. I need to extend my. Oh no, we can do double-sided, can't we? To show off all of them. We can go through every single one. I'll tell you what, I will actually just so you guys see them in their raw state, because they were designed for the base color, like the color they are, but again, you can see how if you're not totally happy with the color, you can change. Carrying on putting some stuff down here. Let's see. Alright, so just getting all these different styles out for you guys to take a look at. 6 seconds. I was so hyped to share because obviously I knew these were coming even last week, but I was super hyped. So I've added a couple more here. So we have like, this is called single credit, and this is called space credit logo. So again, some really cool advertisements for your store. Different vibes, kind of more like a classic. Okay, adding some more here. SC logo, blueprint one, SC logo. Now this is faction one, and I'm pretty sure this might be, you guys wanted the faction thing, right? And I haven't looked at it yet, but I think this might be, I don't know yet. Let me just see, I'm excited. Wait, that's SC logo 2. Let's make a faction first before we do this, just in case. So create, I'm gonna call it, you know, space credit lovers of those space creds, right? And we can select, where's that big bag of cash one? There it is. All right, got the icon here. Value. And we'll do that, and then we'll do like a gold for the icon. There we go. Something like that. Alright, space credit lovers. Let's see. Oh, I've missed a couple here. So this is the blueprint one. Look how cool that looks. Oh, I love that. Like, I actually wish we can make this generated. Because you have a ship here. And the idea is, of course, to kind of like, again, it was the idea of making stores looking really cool, to have this kind of advertisement for ships that the NPCs are selling. And you can see, like, you've got this, oh, it's actually, I see, okay, it's Lorem Ipsum, it seems, but still, it's really cool to see this on like a blue grid like this with the different parts being pointed at. So it's cool to see that there. It's the effect. Aha, okay, interesting. So I've been adding some more here. This was the faction one, so either the guys are working something in progress that this will be actually like to have your faction logo displayed, or it is just some generic one, because I'm wondering why it's called faction, because that would make it sound like it's your faction, but that currently is what appears. The pink fist. This is called poster. This one's cool, so a really cool little, I don't know, something cool to have on the outside of your shop. You've got a trade icon, and this icon here is called, this image is actually an LCD, and it's called clear, because I guess what it allows you to do, it allows you to add text, edit text and say, you know, hello, me selling some good creds. There we go. So real quick, and we can boost the font size up. Okay, that's too big, too big. Okay. Padding as well to the center. Okay, and there we go. Change the color of that, and it kind of gives this kind of line effect onto the LCD, which we didn't have before. So it's a subtle change, but it allows you to layer up the things. So you can go, I can delete this clear here. And then suddenly it's like jet black, right? So that's it. That's a standard LCD, and then again this one down here you've got clear, and that adds that effect onto it. So that's some more of them for you guys to play around with. I've still got more. There's still more to show you. So let's see if we can find some more space to show off these these LCD screens. Okay, just a couple more. Some more. I think there's at least 6 more, so let's see if I can fill this up. I haven't been slacking. I've been placing all the LCDs out that we've added, because I think there's there's around, I think it's like 30 odd LCD screens that you can now display on your on your on your stations and ships. And just next to me here, you can actually see there's ones called Blueprints 1, 2, and 3, and they are just some generic ships. I believe they're drones from the game, which have like this really cool drop-down cross-section style on, and it's just really nice for like an I mean, what I'd like to see is if we can get like a couple of the ships that the NPC stations actually sell and have them as like a perfect advertisement, if you see what I mean. Let me just see here if we can take a closer look. So yeah, welcome everyone who's joined us. Thank you for your patience as always. Right, let's have a little looky. I need some I'm out of music. Let me just refresh the music. Okay. Yeah, okay. So at the start of the stream, I went through the list of features that have changed in this update. Here we have, let's go through them. This is the V2 gunboard. But again, I just love this visual representation of the blueprints. You can see like the side view, the front on view. Here's another one. Oh, hold on a minute. No, this is the jump drive. This is a blueprint for the jump drive, but it's cool to see all the subparts. I actually remember the artists doing this, and I'm pretty sure they took block and they put it into a certain application where they kind of separated the parts and had this kind of pulled out vibe. So really cool little stuff here. And now I can actually go through and show you all of the new screens that have been added. So this is the SC here screen. This is the SC many or something screen, I think it's called. You've got one of the graphs, the shop symbol. You've got the space credits symbol, another space, a variation of that one. If you come down here, we've got a nice little badge here. The Keen Software House logo. Another space credits logo, slightly varying the little around the side. And this was, I'm just for the people who join us late here, this is just the overlay. So this allows you to convert like a normal LCD screen to give it more of that screeny look. Is that a good way of describing it? There's a texture now called clear, and you can see that if I remove that, that's how you guys are used to seeing LCD screens, just like kind of almost matte black. But if you want to give it a bit more of like, especially if I turn the lights down, we can try and showcase this in a second. This is the Union or the trading or Union logo. This is called Poster. It's kind of again for like I can imagine this with like text next to it saying, you know, galactic explorers or something, or haulers. This is called Faction, and I was just saying that I don't know if this is just like a generic Faction logo. I don't know if the guys have plans to actually allow you to display your Faction logo. I mean, I earlier made this. What did I make here? Space Credit Lovers, for example. So I'm not sure if there's plans to make to display your own Faction, but it'd be pretty cool, I think. So that's something. This is the same one reused that I showed earlier. This is the Blueprint 1, and you can see the TT-15 freighter, again broken down, top down view. Some of the features, some of the things it featured. So this is also very nice there. So this is called, what was this called? This is actually one of the Faction logos, to be honest, but this is called Trinity badge. This is graphs 1 to 5, and I was just showing earlier how you can change the color of all of these LCDs. So I can go back to the original blue, and this is flicking between the 5 different variants of them. So there's that, and if I come down here, I can make it. Let's see what other colors we can make it. That's green. Turn down the brightness a little bit. Kind of like a yellowy color there as well. Modding capability, yeah, there could be some cool modding capability. This is the space. This is SE logo 1, quite a nice little logo. Just the classic Space Engineers logo. and then a background at the start. So this is all the new screens that have been added to this new round of testing. So I'm super hyped to see you guys put these onto your stations, and I think our designers are planning to put some of these onto the NPC stations as well. But again, not confirmed. Just what I feel like was something that was discussed. I just want to turn the night down and turn the time of day and to see some of these lit up at night to see if we can get some cool. See how they look when they're. Oh yeah. That bloom. And the reflections as well is quite cool actually. I really feel like one of those bright advertisements here. And I think they stand out on a station, right? When you approach that, it kind of, not so many and not so many different ones, but it clearly looks like some kind of refueling station or something like that. A little flick through all of them. I think my favorite is this one though. I think this is my favorite. Like, get your SC here. I just love I love how the arrows and the circles are broken up like cha 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 cha. It's really kind of retro vibe going on there. So I think some of these would look better inside the ship. Like this would look, some of these would look cooler inside the stations, maybe, and some would look better on the outside. So, let's see what else we can change. Gotta get it right. It can be quite hard to get it just right. Because the way it is, it's changing the overall background, which affects it's been done in a certain way to have it work, so you can kind of see how it comes out. Breaking the fourth wall. It's got to be done sometimes. It's got to be done. Well, I wanted to look at one. Oh yeah, this was it down here. So again, this is this LCD texture. So what if I do this and then match it with the text? So if I turn up, okay, that's not going to work too much probably. Let's a little bit. And then compared to if I take this and if I disable the clear texture. Oh wow. Okay, that's interesting. So it goes from this to adding that clear texture. It's like this overlay, right? So yeah, you guys can have some fun with this one. But yeah, very, 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 very nice to see the. And I think some people are talking about the quality, and of course you can still use the Whiplash's converter to make your own images. I think one of the advantages of this is because it's an actual picture texture, so it allows for higher quality, whereas the image converter tends to, because it uses the monospace font. I don't know what the limitation is in terms of pixels, but due to the way these are implemented in this picture texture format, it does allow them to have that high resolution texture. You see what I mean? The guys work really hard to make them look like screens rather than kind of classic LCD text. They kind of added this kind of glowing effect and even this pixel effect onto it to make it look like it's give a much more better impression that it's in fact a screen. Hey, Shovel Wings, welcome. And it's also true that you get better performance as well. So LCDs with lots of different text and lots of stuff can actually add to the performance hit. So of course, stuff being in vanilla is always beneficial. So, you know what I want to see now? Let's just see here. Like walking into a station. Wait. And just seeing like a wall of LCDs like this. All with the same. Money, money, money. Okay. If I do probably these 4 text images. Huh. Okay, so you have to manually do them. That's alright. I can do that real quick. This was coins, I think. There we go. They match up? I guess not. I guess because it kind of matches up on the screen anyway, so it automatically matches up. But there you go. A wall of SE. So that's the LCD changes. Let's go over some of the other additions to this latest test version of the economy update. Come back down to our platform here. When is the update coming out? The update has no set release date yet, JJ. Obviously, one of the things is the public tests are vital to see that kind of in many ways the public tests define, you know, when it will come out, because we want to be happy with it. We want you know, the majority of the community to be happy with how it's balanced and so on, because it's always a tough one. I think in some ways it's impossible to balance it totally, because I think some people prefer a kind of bigger grind, some people prefer an easier grind. So we're trying to get the balance right. But that's why your feedback on this economy, and especially the balance is so important. You know, are things too expensive? Are things too easy to get? Are things too hard to find? All of this stuff is super important to us, guys. So that's the thing. When you ask when will it come out, it's hard to know. It's really hard to know. I expect this test, and there might be another one after this as well. So we have new models for the med kit and power kit. Let's take a look. There's the med kit. I can get the power kit in as well while we're here. I love the power kit. Right. Let's copy these. I think I want to see the emissive as well. Get some spectator in here. Let them fall here as well. I can pause the game. I'll pause the game and then they're just floating. That's kind of, yeah. Wait. I won't pause the game. Let me just put a couple in here. I just want to get some different angles on this. Right. So here's the power kit. You've got this is actually an emissive stripe on the side, clear power things, and some kind of socket on the end to, you know, boost your power. So these are consumables, guys. They're not rechargeable. These are one-use things that you can only purchase currently from NPC stations. So you go to NPC stations and you buy a bunch of power kits, and this allows you to boost your power on the fly. And gets you out of some tricky situation where you might be kind of running low. Next to that is the med kit. Kind of looks like a med kit in real life kind of thing, like a little, you know, first aid kit. There we go. Probably should, I'll probably mention the guys to probably capitalize that, either fully capitalize it or at least do the capital M and the K, unless it's kind of stylistic like that, I'm not sure. Just noticed that there. Okay, just got some, what we got here? Some latches on the side. Yeah, it's kind of like just a thing that you'd open, and inside there will be all the things you need to hook yourself up and get fixed up, right? So, yeah, the power kit is definitely super cool, just with all these details and the emissive there. Can we see what's inside? Yeah, sure, right. It's like the TARDIS, you know. You go inside, and it's a lot bigger. There's a whole medical room on the inside of it. Okay. That's also new in the test. Let me just get my list up and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I have forgot something. So yeah, there's more grids. I think there's some UI changes. Let's go over to some of the store blocks. I'm going to go inside to the NPC one, and I believe there's some changes to the UI somewhere. I think I saw something. Let's have a look. Not the store. What was it now? Assembler. Yeah, the check. There's more gas for sale. Just try accepting one of these here. This was the change. Yes, the accept. This is now easy to read because beforehand, depending on your HUD settings, it often was the same as your HUD. So it was very see-through. So we made it a little bit more easier to read when you are in fact, Yeah, when you are in fact checking this. Accept this. Aha! Yes, that's the new thing. There's the new thing. So here, we've added an icon so you can keep track of which contracts are for which faction. Because beforehand you'd have a list of contracts and they could be from all kinds of factions. You could have a contract from the pirates and a contract from the enemies of the pirates or something. I'm not really sure, but you know what I mean. So now you can hover over that and you can see the SOCT, the Sovereign Cartel. Interesting name there. Okay, let's just accept some more. See if they've got any repair. No, they haven't got any repair ones. I was hoping to show off the new potential new repair things. Bunch of fixes. Ah, okay. So when you're making your own contracts, there's some new changes, I think. The test is running until tomorrow, but there is a chance that we will extend it over the weekend if things go smoothly. So definitely make the most of it now while you definitely can. So I recommend playing the next 24 hours. But if things go smoothly, we would like to extend it over the weekend because it gives more time for a server to flesh out and so on. But last week, as you can see from the change log, there was a lot of crashes and tweaks. And there was enough information to know, okay, this ain't right. We want to take it, fix these things, and then put it back out there. So if things are a lot more stable, then we'd like to give the whole weekend for you guys to get stuck into it as well. Feel free to post the password in the chat if you guys want to just get onto it right away. And also maybe the mods can also post the Steam Workshop link as well for you. Steam link as well for all the details. Let's just see. How can I test it? Okay, I can help you out. Oh, I can't help you. Oh, I can help you out. Wait, here it goes. There we go. So that link there. You check on that announce link, and if I take that as well, and I will also, if you don't want to read it, I recommend reading it because it helps to know what you're testing. But if you just want to get stuck in, then that is the password that you need for the beta. Just a bit of spam there to get there, keep it up. But there you go. Right. If any of the devs, if Philip is watching, and I know we have some peeps around, they're very working hard, but this is a kind of a message to them. If you guys want to just if you feel like I've missed anything, feel free to come and step on by for a second, leave any comments if you've got them. But I think I'm covering the ground pretty good. Just one of the biggest changes for this test is that everyone will start with 1 million space credits, and that allows you to buy, if you're on the planet, that could allow you to buy a small vehicle. I don't even know what the prices are, but definitely it will allow you to buy some kind of vehicle. I think the vehicle's like 1 million. I came out here to look at the contracts. Yes, right. So administration. If I select a, let me check this right. The thing says added assembler inventories to the contracts inventory selection UI. Okay. Acquisition. I think you would then select an assembler. That's the thing I'm trying to understand that point. Has anyone got that better? Understood that better? Assembly inventories. Ah, so where to put stuff, because you choose where to deposit stuff, don't you? Like select a block to put something into, and you can actually tell somebody to put a block into an assembler to complete the mission. So you can target an assembler pretty much. I think that's what it means. Right. What we'll do is now, I've kind of gone over the main changes. The main things are, there's a lot of small details, but in terms of new visual content, you've got those medkit, the new consumable models, and you have those new LCD screens, and some of the UI changes that I've just highlighted. There's also more grids in the con. So let's do some questions now, guys, because I saw there's a lot of questions which I missed earlier, and yeah. So I'm focused 100% on chat. Welcome everyone who's joined the stream. Daz, welcome. Sari, welcome. When does he come out with the trade update and the safe zone? So, as already said, Daz, the update will come out when it's ready. As always with updates, and because we're public testing, this is a time for us to get your feedback and see how the balance is. And already there's been a bunch of changes. You can check out the support site for this public test, and you can already see there's been a bunch of things you guys suggested and you guys reported or issues, and we've already implemented or addressed those issues. So, right. Control of the lava suit? You should be able to change the lava suit to whatever color you want, collector. Seems strange. You can't. Oh, I guess you maybe. Oh, maybe you're not. You can't actually. The lava suit is set to be always orange lava, right? Huh. Well, the thing is with that one, collector, we have in the past added like the skeleton suit wasn't always colorable, and now it is. So if you guys feel like the lava suit, because I guess having kind of like green lava or like blue lava, this kind of this crusty magma effect, that could be quite cool to have colorable. So it's something we can actually add, and it's not so hard for the artist to add a color mask to one of the skins. I think that's what you're talking about, right? Can we eventually sell our ships to the store block? In terms of selling ships to the store block, that is definitely one of the biggest things still requested. Currently, we're still, that's something we're considering, but it's still the issue. It comes with a lot of complications, and we're not sure if that's going to be something that will be a vanilla feature, or at least to begin with. Maybe in the future it can be something, but I personally really want it. I do think it'd be super cool, but again, it's not the easiest to do in a way that prevents all the exploits that could come with it. So we will see. Yeah, no, you can stream away. If it's on the public test, you are free to stream and make videos. There's already been a bunch of content creators out there have done some cool stuff for us. So more than 16 players. So Jake, there's our official servers are set to 16 because that is what we're trying to balance for right now. But there's plenty of community servers. Even the server that my community hosted was like 32. So if you look on the server list, there should be lots of servers you try out if you want to have some more peeps. If your faction rep gets too low, they shoot you on sight. Is there a way to raise the rep? It's a good point, Kochin, because if you get to the point where you cannot interact with a faction and they just shoot you on sight, how do you get out of that situation? I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's a thing. It's a good question. Maybe our devs have an answer, or maybe someone in chat has done it. But it's a good point. How do you how do you resolve arguments like this if you can't even, interact? How do you use trade on the F3 menu? So, I'm not in multiplayer, but in the F3 screen, there is a ability you have to be standing within 5 meters of another player. So if you're within 5 meters of another player, you can, on the F3 screen, you can click on their name and then you can click trade. If they walk away from 5 meters, it will automatically cancel. You have to be basically standing. The idea is you're like passing stuff on, with your hands kind of thing. And then it's a bit like a Steam trade or any other trading system where, you just simply agree, you give the different things. You can trade PCU as well. That's an important thing. So you can trade space credits and PCU, but be careful with that because you might not be able to get your PCU back if you do that. And as well as items and anything in your inventory. So, ideas for selling ships. Perhaps installing a specific new block can interface with... Perhaps installing a specific block that can interface... Zaduki, I don't quite get that. A new block that can interface with whatever backends, like the contracts. Also, the ship would jump away to your position, or... Does people have to buy parts to be able to build ships in this update? No, Nightwalker. Well, yes. Well, they don't have to. The main thing is with this update is that it gives you an alternative gameplay loop. If you want to just play Space Engineers how you've been playing it for years, you can do. This is an alternative method that you can use. You can do missions. You can sell stuff and so on to make money, to buy ship parts, to make ships and so on. But you don't have to. No one is forcing you to buy things. You can totally mine and refine and have your own self-sustaining colony just fine. Veteran skin fix receives no shadows, pretty much shadeless. Huh. That's one for the support site, 505. That seems strange. We should probably look at that as well. Are we talking about the veteran skin or the veteran Mark II? Are we talking about the classic one or the one that has the uniform? Around large, so I would like to see it higher official servers, and perhaps with some PB enabled. I can't see our official servers having programmable blocks enabled because it's just too risky. We'd have to. The thing is, I feel like a good server with PB, you have to give that PB power to people you trust and to players that you trust. You cannot have a free-for-all PB server. It just goes to hell quite quickly because people can put on scripts that tank the server. It's just not a viable thing. Unless we had a whitelisted script system or so on, having a script free-for-all party on on official servers is just way too risky. How do I disable the incompatible card message? Can you still play the game, Ceres? That seems strange. It tends to suggest you have an incompatible card, but it seems weird that it's there. I mean, I guess it's... Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I know that happens if there's a card that doesn't have the correct version of DirectX or something, but it seems weird that would happen at any time. Yeah, maybe you can attack the opposite forces to get your credit. Like, if your factions are... if your enemies are a faction, but they have enemies, you know, the enemy of the enemy is your friend, or that kind of thing. If you attack, or if you know... something like that, you might be able to go up in the favour of your other enemies, you see what I mean? So maybe that'll work, Nano. It's technically possible to get enough bad reputation, so it is apparently possible, but we'll have to see. What about trading something which cannot fit into inventory? So to trade something that cannot fit into inventory, you'd want to set up a store block, like the one over there. So if I can actually jump back into the game here, show you guys. Right, here's the game. Come back over. Some of my dudes here. This is my store block, and I can in here I can create something. So I can say, hey, I want to sell a bunch of power kits, and I want to offer like 1,000 credits, and then price per unit is 100,000, and I haven't got enough, so I can't create that offer. Of course, I need to have that into the on the station. Now the store block uses, bring it up here, uses the conveyor system. There's the one on the bottom and the back. So if you want to sell stuff on your ship, it doesn't have to be a station. The store block and the contracts work on ships. It's only the safe zone block which doesn't work on moving grids. So you can, if you have a friend you want to trade with and you can't fit it in your inventory, your friend can dock up to your ship with a connector. They can go to your store block and they can buy the stuff that you're selling like that. Oh, one of the, let's see here. Data trading is a bad idea. Well, Riv, it's not forced at all. PCU trading it's totally optional. Maybe there should be some warning to warn players about the dangers of trading PCU. But if a player is experienced and knows what they're doing, and maybe they want to give their PCU to their faction leader, then I think that this is something that that's something that it's their kind of problem, But I guess maybe if new players might join a server and it's like, hey, give me 10,000 PCU and I'll give you some platinum. It's like, oh, it's a great deal, And then later it bites them in the ass because they can't actually afford, or they can't get their PCU back, you see what I mean? So there is some problems. So I'm a bit behind on chat right now because I'm trying to catch up. But so the classic veteran is still broken. It glows in the dark. So we should definitely look at that. So if any of my fellow colleagues are out there, testers, the classic veteran suit glows in the dark. So that's something there. down to maintenance. Yeah, exactly. The scripter role is a thing, J-Core, but that's the thing. It's on official servers. It's ran by us, and it's left to play out. We don't have the manpower to go on all the official servers and like, oh, this person deserves it, this person deserves it, this person deserves it, this person doesn't deserve it. That's why the scripter role is a thing, and that's why I was saying to trust some people with it, but it's better to leave that to the community because you know the players in your server better. Because with a public official server, we don't know who to trust unless we know of this individual. That's why the PB stuff is definitely better for community servers because they're managed, and if there's any kind of issues with that scripter, it's not kind of our fault. It's kind of it's up to the server admins of that server to deal with it. Right, selling ships allows safe zones to store grids. Once in a virtual storage, well, the ship is also take a PCU. That's not a bad idea, because if there was selling a ship, you don't want that ship to take up your own PCU. You want that ship to take up your buyer's PCU. So again, John, the idea of having a virtual storage for ships that haven't been sold yet, that don't count for PCU, I love the idea. It's something that if we do go down the route of selling ships at some point, which we can think about having this way rather than having a bunch of ships like on display or something. Yeah, I like that idea. Just an idea, would it be possible to buy non-standard blocks to store credits like a progression system for advanced items? So basically buy research. That's an interesting idea, Keitha. So, I mean, the progression system's main purpose is to actually teach players the blocks as they go up, because normally there's a billion. Well, and to give a slight challenge of having limited stuff at the start. It's two reasons, but I feel the biggest reason is to teach players the blocks and the importance of the blocks and how they go on. But it'd be cool if you wanted to skip and straight up say, right, skip to the head, I want to buy the industrial cockpit. Boom, let's get it, Missing action, welcome. Another selling ships, add a connector to the setting and the point of sale, point of sale can be that. And then you could potentially say this ship that's docked is, for sale. So yeah, there's loads of ideas, but when it comes to designing it, we have to make sure that as many of the holes for exploits are plugged as possible. We hear you guys. We hear you. We hear that there's a lot of avid ship sellers out there waiting to sell their ships. Of course, it can be done manually right now, but it would be great to have an automated in-shop version as well. Yep, stream seems to be going very well now. There was some shenanigans earlier, but things seem to be good. Right. So you guys got any more questions today? Because I didn't want to do too long a stream today. I will possibly... there'll be plenty of stuff going on the weekend. I'm sure people will be making videos and doing play tests, but I'm not sure. My main purpose today was for you guys to know the new tests, the new things, and also to just kind of answer any questions about the economy, because it really is one of the biggest updates ever, and in some ways it could be the biggest in terms of gameplay loop changes that we've done. So yeah, you guys seem. I feel like I'm doing pretty well on questions today. There's not a trillion questions. That's good. Yeah, release date. Yeah, it's as I said, when it's ready, Jammy. When it's ready. Right. Also going to show. We could have some play around with the safe zone, maybe. You have to spend a lot of time progressing in survival before you can actually reach the economy thing. So Diamond, this is a big point which has changed in this update. Maybe we can even do that now. Like just play on like a fresh survival. Actually, not fresh. I've just got one that I can use from last week. Steam stream? No, that's a Saturn 5. Economy public test preview. We can start a new world. It's probably better. Let's go new game. Custom game. Star system. Survival. Autosave. The autosave on. Tunnel spectator. And then leave everything else as is. Right. Yeah, probably, John. I'm sure there'll be something kicked up. So did I say, Diamond? Did I not finish my sentence? Biggest change in this test, and it's purely for testing reasons. You guys all have 1 million space credits. As I said, a small loan of 1 million space credits to see how it will work out if you guys have more money to start with. And it might be a bad idea, it might be a good idea, who knows? But that's the point, Diamond, is that you guys will actually be able to go to trading stations, buy a rover, buy some, uranium. You can choose how you want to spend your money and which direction you want to go, right? I'm concerned about people attacking from outside the safe zone. So, Yoki, do you mean you're concerned for people stalking you? If you see what I mean, like waiting outside your safe zone. Now, one of the points is the safe zone in a way is kind of it kind of gives away your position, because you can see a safe zone from like quite far away compared to a normal station. So I think that is a potential point, but then that's the risk that you run. If you're safe inside, but you need to. It's a way of balancing the safe zone. It's why you can't create your own zone ships. If you want to keep your zones up, you have to make that risky journey to make sure your stuff is safe. You have to make that risk, you have to get out, and you have to get more zone ships. And maybe you'll get to the point where you're totally surrounded by the enemy, and you cannot get out. You cannot get new zone ships. Your safe zone depowers, and you're left exposed, and you get wrecked. Maybe that is the case, but it's already impenetrable, and it's already kind of you can't touch it, So there has to be some way eventually for that barrier to potentially fall. So that's the kind of thing that we've got going on. Let me just check. I have got 1 million space credits. Let's just see. There it is. Yes, I've got 1 million here. Yes, you can't ram ships in the safe zone. No. Will NPC faction and bases spawn on already existing worlds? I don't know, 505. I believed that if you create a new planet, paste it in, it should spawn stuff in. But when I tried it last week, it didn't work. So I'm not sure whether or not existing worlds will spawn in the factions. I think it depends on, one thing, you definitely have to have encounters and cargo ships enabled to get that done, but there's an economy checkbox in the advanced world settings. So you can totally disable economy if you don't even touch it on your server or your world. And I don't know whether that's enabled or disabled by default. I imagine in old world it's disabled by default. So, yeah. Right. So once again, I can check my seat. Come in, man. Philip's here. The man behind the economy is here, and he's here to probably correct me on some points. So give a warm welcome, guys, to PhilCon. He is, he's been managing the feedback. He created the form. He's been going through that. He's been addressing the most critical bugs. So here he comes. How have I been doing, Philip? Have I been getting most of it right?
Everything is working fine.
Good.
Hey guys. So What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to find inside my seat of this, I'm going to find the data pad so I can find my closest station. So if I go to I can then read the data pad. And of course, this is one of the new features of the economy, guys. You can have basically a note. You can give people. You can put anything you want on it. It can be a shopping list. It can be a coordinate. And if you do happen to place a coordinate inside it, you at least one, you will get this opportunity to create a GPS marker. So we've got some conflict between factionless debris. Oh, okay. So we're looking for some good deals at the IMMK station. So let's create that. Go to the GPS screen, and there we have 12 kilometers away. So that's my nearest station now. So always check the seat of your lander, guys, for your nearest NPC station. Economy man.
12. That's okay. Usually it's like further away.
You know, some people. I know Joachim landed like 50 meters from one before.
A lucky one.
Yeah. Do you know about this question about existing worlds? People were asking about if stuff will spawn on existing worlds, or if
yes,
you
if you turn on the economy, yes.
Okay.
So you just
you have to turn it on though.
Yeah, you have to turn it on. So checkbox in the advanced settings.
Right, let's fly there. Do I? You know, another thing that could be maybe interesting. It might be. I'm not sure if it's kind of like survival thing. Would be to put a med kit and a power kit into the seat. Because I feel like it's a survival craft, and it kind of gives. I mean, obviously, it doesn't really make that much sense because, of course, you have a thing to re-heal right now.
By the way, you don't have to sit in seat to see the inventory. Just click I.
Oh yeah, on the seat, right?
On the
Yeah,
seat.
yeah. Is that a new thing?
That's a new thing.
Wow. Okay, this is why he's here, right? So that's fantastic. That's actually such a nice quality of life thing, because it was always like, right, get to the seat, press I, then get in. Because even sometimes, Philip, I've been like trying to like fumble my way to the seat, and it's really hard to get into it. So actually, being able to just hit I and pull stuff out, that's a nice change there. So what was the mentality behind this, the $1 million credit? It is right, you wanted to see how...
Just for public test, that we wanted to like give the testers or our players some base currency that they can use in the stations, and they don't have to start from the scratch. You actually can go directly to the station, buy a ship, and do some missions or contracts.
So I'm gonna try and buy a ship now when I go there to see if test this out. I already answered it, Scubad. He said that if you enable the economy in the advanced world settings for existing worlds, it should spawn in all the stations. I'll go enough. It's still quite far over jetpack. I'm gonna have to teleport there or run there. The other day, I'm not sure if you. Last week, when I was doing some stream of it, I actually ran all the way. It took me like 20 minutes to get there, but I ran out of hydrogen and just ran there. And some of the bigger changes, because obviously I went through the main changes, but there was lots of fixes. There was like 30 odd fixes.
Yeah, most of them they are in the release notes, but the important ones, interesting ones, that you can get the money from these drop pods.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that change was in release.
I didn't see it in.
Maybe it was a sneaky one.
So you guys know the skin pod drops where you can unlock like a cow welder, or maybe if you're lucky an emissive something, really lucky. Another incentive now to go there is that they can contain space credits, and I think I might have actually saw someone post a screenshot of that earlier. Where they find like 500 space credits.
Yeah, and medkit and power kit there.
So it really is a nice. Hopefully we might even get one now pop up. But it's basically, it doubles up as like a care package, right? Of like both this bonus thing, but also a top up. So that's great.
And I think that pretty much those changes in release notes are based, and fixes are based on the feedback. So
okay, great.
If you look on the support side, pretty much everything which is in green I think it's orange color, like in progress. Then it's most of it's done. Right.
Let me link this guys up for you. Hold on. I can't easily. Yeah, you guys can check out. There's the support site. You click on that link. This is what we're talking about, and you can see the things that we address from the community. So if I bring this up, I can even show on stream. I think maybe. I don't think there's anything.
But they are in the release notes.
Yeah, they're in the release notes. So
people can read it.
You guys look at faction credits withdrawal permissions, or can? What do you mean? Only leaders can withdraw credits. Zaduki, I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Only leader can withdraw. Everyone can deposit. Only leader can withdraw.
I don't think I'm in a faction right now, but yeah. So we've discovered the Imperial Makers, and I think that suggests they are in fact a ship builder. So we might be able to actually go in here, spend our million. So let's see what we can buy. Right. I just ran out of hydrogen. I missed the jump, but luckily, all the ground stations are designed. Hold on, this one up here. Are designed with a ladder, so you can actually climb up to them, even without hydrogen. So that's good. Yeah, look. I mean, Diamond said they only got 60 from a strong signal, so it varies. Fabricator got 500,
it's
right?
Like 0 to 1,000, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from 0 to 1,000 or something like that.
It's random, is it?
Yeah, random.
I guess the strong ones would probably be more, because the strong ones are always that competitive one.
I'm not sure if we have a different loot in strong ones. Probably, we could do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Uh,
X-Wing got 1k.
Yeah, exactly. X-Wing is lucky one.
Okay, so how am I going to choose to spend my money? Let's have a look. Alrighty. Oh, actually, well, okay, so I can't afford this. You can see I've only got $1 million. So this, a miner, which would be great to have, would be that. But I can afford.
I would suggest like
a
buying
buggy
buying a vehicle, like the buggy one.
Yeah.
Probably. And just take the stuff from the respawn pod.
Yeah.
And put it on the car.
Ah, okay. Let's do that.
You
then.
will lose the battery, of course.
I'm just seeing what else you've got here. So you've got this is I can afford this. All the flying vehicles I can't afford, because I guess anything with thrusters is going to be a bit more expensive. But I can come here and immediately buy a ground vehicle, which is quite nice actually. So let's. Do you think? I really like this one though. I might feel like I want to get this one. Or is it?
I'm not sure what's. Try the tooltip. What's on it?
This is one of Smocky's, I think. Is this one of your Smocky's? Smocky?
I don't think this one doesn't have cargo, probably.
Oh, it does. That has cargo for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. This is. And Nightwalker, I've answered the question already. So I said I'm sorry you're trying again, but I've answered that at least twice now. And the thing is, I said about the ships is that we hear you guys, we hear you want it, I want it, it'd be really cool, but right now we haven't got any way to sell player ships, because to do it there'd be a lot of thinking and a lot of way to try and get.
Well, we can like do it differently. The problem is simple.
Okay.
There is too many ways how to like people get screwed.
Yes, exactly.
Like someone can
Exploits.
steal your money. Like he will sell you a ship, but instead of a ship you will get just one.
Or a ship with a warhead, armed.
Armor, yeah, you will have a ship and inside will be explosion, like warhead or something, or the ship will not work because the conveyor system will be wrongly designed, or engine will not work, or something, anything. Like we don't have any way how to check if the ship is actually working.
Well, I think.
So are people okay with that? That someone can sell them crap?
Well, I would say yes, because then I always had the idea that people wouldn't. Yeah, let's know this, but I would say that's okay because you wouldn't go back to that person. as long as there's a list of blocks, if you can see, okay, this ship, and I don't know how you get onto it, but if you could see,
list of blocks is fine.
Because then at least you get the resources from it, right?
You get the resources, but you don't get the ship anyway, even with the list of blocks.
Yeah, but the main thing is
no one is like giving you any.
At least you better grind it down because all the ships are based off some value, and I think
if I'm buying a ship, I don't want to grind it down.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine that you are going to buy a car, and if the car doesn't work, okay, grind it down. It's a strange. So that's why we just didn't find a good enough solution to prevent this kind of stuff. So if people don't care that they can lose money, I would personally would be probably pissed.
The only thing I think of is unless you make it, you do it, allow it to be somehow quite easy, and then it could be another advanced well setting, allow or disallow player, and server admins can decide whether they want to have that risk.
John is saying that he gets solved by seeing in projector.
Yeah.
You will not see the issues in projector because you will see only like outside the ship, and it's probably like you don't see the details. There was an idea to keep the ship somewhere inside the zone, actual grid, and then you can like go and
look at it.
But still you don't see the insides. You will see only outside, right?
But at least it's halfway there to being at least looking like a ship and seeing
so the risk is still there, even if you like see it in real, unless you could somehow pilot the ship.
So that's, if you want to have 100% security, the only way to do would be like allowing a test drive.
I would like to like 90%.
Well, imagine if you could like, there was a button that said test drive, and you could get in it, fly it for like 10 seconds inside the safe zone, and it would like a countdown, then it would just disappear. I don't know if that'd be too breaking immersion. So I mean, another suggestion was doing by blueprints, right? You'd have to have a link Steam blueprint, but then
it was the idea.
But you suggest you think there would still be potential ways for people to get around that and exploit it. But that's a lot of effort for someone to do, to screw some people out of an in-game money, which is not super. Like if you're going to spend a trillion on a like a warship, you probably want to know this dude's actually got a good rep, because you have this faction reputation for a reason. But I don't know. And you can see inside the ship. If you have a projector, you can walk around inside of a ship.
I still don't know if it's working. You know that even if you have everything correctly, you can have like wrong mass also. Not enough thrusters. You know, you have just one thruster down, and you don't know if the ship if it's enough for the ship. So yes, we could like do it this way and like forget these kind of issues. Well, but I hope that the people will not say, "Oh, okay, this is wrong. I lost my money." You know, that I don't like this feeling that the people can be disappointed.
But I feel like if you're ever going to be trading with, like, if you want to be trade safe, always go to an NPC one. Mm-hmm. But I feel like trading with a player is always going to be risky and always going to be, because they can jump you, right? You can get your stuff and then jump them. Like interacting with players, you have to have that trust with players, I think, and that's something that it's a risk, or it's something that you have to build. I mean, let's see here. John said we want it. So again, testing it, but not being able to grind it down. Yes, blueprint based. Let's see.
Yeah, it's all the ideas which we come up with.
Test the ship only in the safe zone. Have a list of blocks so warheads inside would not work. You can see inside. How I sold ships in the past is trust. Think about selling a car in real life. This will level of transparency with the buyer and the seller.
But for example, if you are like buying a car, I would never buy a car which I didn't test, right? You would? I wouldn't, right? So I would at least like drive it once.
Could you have a reverse safe zone where it would spawn in the safe zone and it would stop you from leaving the safe zone?
Really?
So like you'd have like, you could click on like test drive and it would only be in the world for like 1 minute, and you couldn't leave it, you couldn't steal it, you couldn't steal anything from it, grind it down, and you'd be like, you couldn't leave the safe zone, it's like your testing area, but you can check it works, you can check it's got what's in it, you can check if it's got a warhead, and then it'll disappear, and then you'll go back inside and then you can choose to buy it. So
Okay, we will think about if there is any. I will read all the comments.
yeah, let's see.
Good enough. Okay.
Flies to the projection. You can like walk like clip through the blocks and like just like look around and stuff. So
Yeah, it's very close to good enough.
the best way I would do it is do something simple, and it could even be a little bit janky. But for the next public test, like have a system there and see. So we'll have the test right. If there's rage and crazy and fires burning, then it's like right, cut that out. But what do you think?
Well, we can probably do just if people don't care that they can like lose money, we can probably do like simple version in something like this was one of the ideas.
Okay.
That like you can sell PCUs that you would be able to sell the rights for the grid. In the same window, you would select the grid.
Oh, in the F3 trade screen.
Yeah, in F3 trade you would select the grid.
Okay, and that would transfer ownership.
And
Someone mentioned that as well, didn't they?
It would transfer the ownership, but yeah, it's not safe like anything else we come up with. Everything has its problems, but at least people would be able to see the grid, right? They would probably test it before with the owner.
Again, because it would be there, right? They'd be there.
Because
they have to be.
You have to be there, and then they would like trade the stuff and confirm, and that's it.
Well, thanks, guys. This is good. This is why we have these streams. We can have a discuss about this. I mean, I think Philip. There's been a lot of good points here, so I think Philip can always come back to this VOD and get all the. He can read over any ones he's missed here. I mean, to see. Yeah, no, it's a good point, Nightwalker. I mean, you're saying about when a ship enters the safe zone. I mean, safe zones tend to have damage disabled and all the rest of it. So I think having warheads inside a safe zone isn't a problem, because if there are warheads, I mean, you have to check. But again, like if you have a new car, you do tend to check everything's there or something. I don't know. Test time will be fine. I think it would be cool actually to like have a test drive button and then not be able to escape the safe zone. It's like, here's your playground, drive the vehicle around, see how, because that's it as well. It's like, see how it handles. And it means that if there's a rover that someone's selling for like 50 million, it's like, all right, this better be like a godly rover. And if it's performing terribly, it's like, I don't want this crap. And then you can just send it back to the owner, or you can say, I'm not paying for this. Or then maybe you can negotiate. You can be like, all right, I'll only give you 2,000 for it or something. So, yeah. So I think the player-to-player trading with a real ship would be easier because, again, it's right there in front of you. Having a ship store like this with a virtual inventory, that's the other thing as well. Like, you'd have to somehow store it, wouldn't you? Because you couldn't just have, and the PC would be on hold, right?
We actually did this technology. We have it in game. We are not using it.
Oh, great. Okay.
But with the store like offline selling, there are even more problems. Even like more stuff which can go wrong, including the thing that you cannot you don't see any picture, right?
That is also a problem. You'd have to have because these aren't generated. These images are manually created for these ships.
So probably would look ugly.
Well,
if we do it with the store, I would go the blueprint style, like selling the blueprint. But even the blueprint, selling the workshop blueprint has its issues too. So.
Well, I think what it could be is because this is vanilla. This can look, I think, a lot nicer. So there's two options. If you were to sell ships in the store, they would either have like a little square preview that's on the workshop. It would be very pixelated, but when you hover over it, like that preview image there, like the kind of this image there is actually big enough to see. So like if you took the standard workshop. And it's actually 16 by 9 as well. So you could use the preview, you can actually see like that. And then maybe even this could just be a Steam logo if you don't want to have the thing there.
There are we already had the discussion about it, but there are some problems like what will happen if the blueprint has a DLC block, what will happen if the DLC is a small issue.
That's not an issue.
What will happen if the blueprint has a mode block? It should not work, or it should upload the mode and automatically install it, or it should be forbidden if the mode is not on the server.
Yeah,
that
it would be
would
forbidden.
not be able to. So you see, there are so many issues which even with the blueprints, which we will have to like find out. And
So this is why it's been avoided until this point, guys, because there might not seem there's a bunch of issues, but then there's always just like, but what if, you know? I think DLC is not a problem because since everyone can use DLC blocks now, they can't place them, but everyone can use them. I think that's the whole point. It was kind of cool as people can sell their friends.
Yeah, but
DLC.
you buy
ships.
a car and there is a DLC block. You little break it and you cannot repair it.
No, if you break it, you'd have to do a like a DIY job and slap a different cockpit on or slap a different. So, you know, I think that's it. If you happen to damage your ship, that's it for you. You know.
Okay. Let's find some questions. Player-to-player reputation. What about player-to-player reputation? Was that question? Or? Okay.
So John was saying it wouldn't be a blueprint. It would actually you'd have to build it first in the game, right? And then you'd put it into virtual storage. But then again, then it comes back to the previous issue maybe. But that's good in terms of things. Then you have to build it. You have to labor. You have to put your work in your little shipyard, and you're going to build them, 3D print them, however you want to do it, and then store it away. The question with that would be PCU. I guess it would work as if the PCU for you would disappear, and if you took it out again, your PCU would go back up. And if you didn't have enough PCU, you couldn't take it out, right? Like a PCU bank. So that kind of works. Anyway, we came in to buy something. Let's buy the. Sorry, Philip. You can check the questions. I'll just buy this. I'm gonna buy the. Okay, hold on.
Perfect.
Was it? That's good. The price changed actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Went down.
The price went down.
So
Sale.
Just by waiting, you saved.
That's
I
it.
think
100,000.
Over 100,000, I think.
100,000 space credits. And can I buy any ship? No, not quite. It did go down though. I think everything went down. Like economy fluctuating, right? Okay. Let's try again. There we go. Bought one. I can see if I can dock. I wonder if we have a dock lower down.
Yes, but I think it's not directly on the ground.
Because it would be great if we can able to dock ground vehicles.
Yes, it should be there.
I'm out of,
Probably you will.
I need to go buy some hydrogen for my suit first.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna go, or a bottle even if I can afford a bottle. I should have like 400,000 less, so let's go.
No, just buy hydration.
Just wait long enough. Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's very.
the patient. I was going to say the patient one. but
They don't sell. These don't sell hydrogen.
yeah, they only sell ships. They're a ship. They're like it's a car dealership. It's not. Bugger. Let's check the contracts in the meantime. I can do some of this maybe. Special price. Right, 17 minutes. That's not too bad. And what's the changes? The change here was this new logo, right, where you can see.
Yeah, the people wanted to see what kind of faction gave you the.
Again, so this is something else.
Contract.
Feedback from you guys. You guys helped us to know this is a good idea because now you have a long list of factions and you can see boom, 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 and there can be 10 different factions, 10 different contracts, rather than just because actually beforehand there was no way to see. There was nothing, no information even here. That's great. One thing, Philip, regarding I was talking about that faction LCD screen on the stream. Was that just a generic thing, or was it
Just generic.
Okay, it is a generic thing. Okay. Because I know that definitely people have been asking for a way to display factions, faction banners. That is. Okay, so hauling is no way too far. those end-game hauling ones.
There was a change for the howling contracts.
Oh, that's not too bad. 2,000.
The price is now like
Ooh!
payment is payment depends on
The distance.
not just distance. Depends on how much uranium you need to charge jump drive. So it like calculates the cost of the resources, then adds the bonus with the distance, and this is the result.
That's some good money though. You travel 22k and now you get 4 million space credits. So if you want to be a space trucker, it's now looking like it's going to be a more and more profitable business. I mean, you're going to spend a lot of time, in the jump traveling, but the payoff is big. Okay, so hauling, that's 2,000. See if there's any close. That's 26,000. 21 minutes. Okay, let's just see here. A couple here. A couple there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I couldn't get any hydrogen, could I? So I'm just gonna jump down. I can go back to my. We can drive back to my pod now.
You will die. No.
It's weird. I don't know. No, I'm just strong legs, strong knees.
You are inside the safe zone.
Is that?
Yeah,
you can't die in the safe zone.
I think you cannot die even if you open helmet.
Oh. Immersion broken.
But,
Maybe this should be. Maybe that's actually, again, it's a small thing, but maybe separating player damage, because is it under the, what is it under? What, the safe?
I'm not sure.
Let me have a look. I'm trying to think what safe zone setting that would be. Probably allowed damage would be.
I saw this one.
So maybe actually, I think people should be able to die, to be honest. I know, because then people ram. I don't know. One way to save O2.
Yeah,
Ooh, it's a bit of an exploit there.
Immersion.
Don't tell anyone, guys. Just between me and you, right?
No, so you have a car, so just
So
take apart your respawn pod.
this is also great. I mean,
and there should be connectors somewhere.
let's have a look. Well, there is. You know, it'd be cool. There's ones here underneath, but it'd be cool if there be ones on
two
piston.
of them, right?
I know, but I can't.
No pistons.
Oh, I know performance.
We
is
don't
kind of,
want Mr. Clank on our stations. He's not welcome.
Clang doesn't exist no more. Clang, I ain't seen Clang for years. Clang doesn't even exist. Clang's a myth now.
He's still nearby if there is a piston or some crazy connector. So
But what feels great is I've just started here. I've spent all my money nearly, but I've gone ahead and I've bought myself a nice vehicle. Oh, we get to see that awesome effect as always. Oh, that never gets old. Just like seeing that. Bloop. Right. So we're gonna head back to our respawn point. It's gonna be a bit of a drive here, but I'm a vehicle driving pro. Yeah. So the links in the chat, guys. Definitely get stuck in. I mean, Philip, I was mentioning, of course, like depending how things go. Would you want to say if you're feeling like it might be extended, or is it too? Maybe you'll have to wait until tomorrow to the crash and stuff. Like, have you any gut feeling?
what do you mean? Like,
Well,
if we like
gut feelings, if you think we'll extend it, or is it too early to say, or would you not want to say until you're
I would
sure?
like to.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We'd all like to
I
extend
would
it.
like
That's the main thing.
So if there is no like some serious problem like last one, then yes, till Monday. And if there is not any problem on Monday, then till Friday.
There you go. It'll be a week-long test, and that would be great for definitely for testing the longevity of an economy and seeing who gets rich quick or whatever. Because definitely when I played last week, we didn't see anyone get to the safe zones because again, safe zones it's good, it's fine. They're very kind of end game. It takes a lot to build them, and then you have to find NPC stations which sell them, and you have to have 100,000 per hour to keep them up. So I would love to let the economy on a server progress to the stage where we start getting these richer factions which are protecting their stuff and you know, all that stuff. Yeah, longevity. It's a good point. I got like twisted up there. Fog shadow. Longevity. Yes, thank you.
Did the factions get fixed or they don't shoot each other? Well, some of the factions are friends between each other, so not every time they will like shoot at each other.
There's a question earlier that if you get to the point where a faction hates you and they'll just shoot on sight, is there any way to get out of that?
You have to find a friend of that faction.
Okay, a friend of yeah, okay.
And then you have to do missions, contracts for him.
Ah, so if you have an enemy but they're friends of someone else in the middle, but you do factions for their friend who's also your friend, it will boost theirs as well.
Yeah.
Ah.
There is a one level like how to say it in English? One level propagation for the faction. So if you do a mission and it's like 10 reputation, all his friends and neutral like factions with him will get some points too. So if you are like enemy with someone and you have some neutral faction with him, then you can go back to neutral on both.
Yeah.
And this works only in contract system, so you have to do some contracts.
And I can show you how you know friends. Wait, that's a good point. That if I look at here,
How do you know who is whose friend? We added it to the UI. If you, it's in tooltip. Imperial markers, go over that. Yeah, see friends.
when was this added? To this?
This public test.
Okay, so again another change, which is sneaky, not in the change.
I think it's in the. I think it's inside.
Oh, maybe it is there.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
Well, that is cool actually. So now we can see that they're friends with divine dealers, or because we don't know who these are yet, because we haven't discovered them. But some faction called Divine Dealers, Clang Hauling Services, Interstellar Hauling Services, and Royal Technologies. So we have 4 factions there which we can do missions with to actually try and make friends with our potential. Well, not right now, but if they were enemies, that's cool. That's very cool. Because of course everyone is interconnected. Like there's every faction has a reputation with every other faction, but it was all behind the back end. So this is the first time we actually get an insight into what the other factions.
Good point that it's unknown, and it should be unknown in this tooltip.
Probably right.
Probably yes. Probably it should. Yeah, we will like address that. Unless
you don't, because you know the Imperial Makers, and let's say the Imperial Makers have said, "Hey, these are our friends," and the Imperial Makers, and they've told you who their friends
it's
are.
It's a little bit breaking the undiscreet feature, but
I don't know. Yeah,
because from the name you can guess what
they are.
Yes. What they are.
It's true actually. Yeah.
What if you are enemy with the whole alliance? Yeah, then you are screwed.
It's a good point.
You will probably never be friendly with them. Yes.
But again, to get to that point, you're gonna have to be a bit of a meanie. Because the NPC factions haven't got anything against you, The Space Pirates is one thing, but like all the other factions, I mean, obviously trading, you're the public enemy. Yeah, you're the public enemy, and you probably have a bounty on your head as well. So you probably don't want to have that many enemies, because you'll have suddenly 4 or 5 factions that all want to get you, and players will be able to take up bounties on you, and yeah, suddenly you're in trouble.
Yeah, the overview map of relations would be really overwhelming, because imagine that you have, I think on our public test servers we have 32 factions, so it would be like metrics of 32 across 32 columns and rows, and that would be crazy.
Yeah,
that kind of UI. That's why we added just the friends to the tooltip, so that it should pretty much be almost like enough for you. We will see if it's really enough after the test, and we will test it properly. What can you supposed to do with space? If you find some space credits, then go to the store. There is a cashback feature, and you can deposit those money to your account.
Yeah, it's a good point, because let's say, obviously Loopdu's found the fact that the unknown signals now give you space credits, and a couple of people today I saw on the Keen server like, what do I do with these? Because people know the space credits, but I think a lot of people miss the initial like the reason of having the physical currency as well. So yes, I can show you that if he's like. I mean, I was hoping to have an unknown signal, but still nothing. Oh, it's because no, they should come up when you're offline as well, right? You should get unknown signals when you're playing offline, right? Or maybe
playing offline.
Not off. Well, like the world is offline.
Then you will not get any.
Ah, okay.
Right. No.
I thought you should though.
No,
You won't get the
no,
strong unknown, but you should get the standard unknown.
Standard
I
one.
thought.
But the random is like 20 minutes. We can like sit here.
Okay, right. Maybe it just hasn't. I haven't got lucky yet.
What was the question?
Almost there.
Can we get contracts to counter other people contracts? People cannot make contracts. Only the NPC can make contracts, like bounties, if you mean that.
Yeah. Well, players can make contracts. They just can't make bounty contracts. Is what you mean.
He maybe means that if I make the contract to, let's say I make the contract to repair my ship, that someone would make the contract to destroy it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a funny idea.
It is a funny idea.
But no, that's not possible at this moment.
All right.
We thought about the bounty contracts to be like player made.
I would still love that.
Yeah, the idea is like a little bit appealing because we like to, in multiplayer especially, people like to kill other people.
It's the problem we have now.
But the problem is that it would be like abused. I'm pretty sure it would be abused.
The problem we have is a current bounty actually reveal your location?
Not exactly your location. It gives you a random point around the player, and I think the distance is 700 meters. So it's like sphere.
But it's still going to be near that. You know, you're still going to be able to see a ship or a base.
Still, if some. Yeah,
So
there will be so many issues with that, so we will keep it this way probably.
What I would know what I would do though. I feel like if we did player bounties, they would differ from NPC bounties, and the player bounties would literally only tell you, get this player, no information data. It would be up to you to find them on the server. If you came across them, because then suddenly if you're in this battle and you're meeting up with someone and you're like, oh, there's that guy, let's get him.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you didn't have the location and it was just like a passive quest, and if you see this troublemaker, take him out, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then again, I'm trying to think.
Some kind of simplified version of the bounty contract.
Exactly, because
without position.
Exactly. Would that have any? How would that be? I don't think that could be. I think the location thing is cool to have for the NPCs, because then it's
definitely it would be. It has to be some kind of option. Imagine that you are a PvE player.
Yeah.
You come to the server and someone puts bounty on you.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's.
But they can't find you. There's like, they have to pay money.
Okay.
And it's like maybe they have. The other thing is they'd have no reason to kill you. It's like kill this guy for what?
It's not the problem about the guy who is like trying to kill you. He has a fun, but the other guy who comes to the server and playing PvE.
Right, but he would have no.
He doesn't want to, like, you know.
People are going to put bounties on people's head who are troublemakers or rich or whatever. They're not going to. I don't think a fresh spawn is not going to have a bounty, because I'll have a bounty every time. You can bet that, but still.
I'm pretty much sure that it would be like that.
But the point is, you'd have to. The person still has to have money. They still have to offer a bounty. Because if you just offer a bounty for 0 credits or whatever, you have to make it enticing enough. You know, you said, okay, 1 million credits to get this guy. That's an idea. A grid, make a bounty for a grid. So but how would you define it? Because you'd have to know the grid. If you'd seen it. For example, if a ship of a player had come and rammed or destroyed your base, and as long as you have seen it before, like grid 105 or something, owned by this player, I don't know if that would. It'd be great if it was up to the admins of the server which bounty system they could use.
If we like add any player bounties like custom made, it definitely will be option.
That's not a bad idea again, because actually that's a great idea, because suddenly then if a server wants to be encouraging that kind of behavior and PvP, then they can do that. If a server admin doesn't want people going after new spawns or whatever else, then they can disable that option. I feel that would make everyone happy, right?
This is good question. Would it be possible to gain reputation for all factions by fighting pirates? It would, but we didn't add it because you would exploit it, right? Because you would kill all the pirates and you would have pretty much reputation for free, and that's why it's not in the game. You should like gain reputation with the factions, with the contracts, and that's it. And the only exception, of course, are pirates, which you getting reputation by drilling, fighting as a person.
Yeah. I saw another good point about that as well. Someone suggested, what if we had to have an admin to approve bounties? Because then it's like,
yeah, that's optional, which I was like,
because then
talking about.
Oh, okay. Because then it'd be like, someone attacked me and griefed me, Mr. Admin. Can I put an admin in this guy for that reason? You'd have to submit it, like you'd have to, like the sheriff of the server or whatever, like in the sense that you have to almost submit a bounty request. And if it's like some random person, like this person, is a new spawn, or you'd have to give a valid reason or something. And if the admin knows you and they know that this player's, because admins are pretty good. Admins tend to know who's who on their set. They tend to know the regulars from the newbies, and so that could be a good way to have that gameplay there. Again, without the location, just this kind of like passive bounty request on meanies, meanies who, or you could just limit. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Or a server-wide vote, but then could that create a witch hunt? I don't know. Probably.
I've played so many games where PvP was forced and it was never good. So optional maybe, and we will see. Like we will I think there are some like more important stuff. So we will have to like think about the resources which we have at this moment.
I mean, I think there are the kind of nasty things that could come with it, but I think on the whole, it can actually be a way of hopefully discouraging trolls or pirates. But at the same time, it makes being a pirate more exciting. It's not just like breaking stuff and running off. It's like if you choose the life of crime, you might pay for it, right?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see some pirate.
Because then you start
what they
getting,
will do, because they will have to be constantly on the run.
Yeah, exactly, and that's their choice. They've done that because of their actions, and then suddenly we might start to see this RP situation where we have like police factions, right? And the whole purpose is to, dare I say, bully hunters. But oh god, yes.
You know how some FPS have server-wide vote to kick or ban a person? Yeah, and not just FPS, right? I am playing Elder Scrolls online in my free time when I'm like bored or I want to like relax from the space engineers. And yes, there is a like vote on kick from the group, and it's the most abused feature in the game. I tell you that if we do it, it would have to be like completely optional, and I don't like votes on this kind of stuff. It's pretty much people will kick you from the group or from the server just because they can, and that's my issue.
Yeah. To understand a little bit here.
Any question? Can you trade?
Ask away, guys. Philip is the god of economy, so he will have all the answers.
Can you trade for other goods instead of credits at trade station? No, you get the credits and you can buy other goods. So pretty much.
I mean, you can sell your
Space
goods
engineers
first. You can't trade directly.
You cannot trade directly. You have to use credits, of course. Space Engine is not MMO. Yes, it's not MMO, but the point still stays. If people can like abuse and some kind of system, they definitely will. And you have to protect some of the players because the game is not fun if people like randomly kick you from the server.
See something second here on the economy screen.
Just because they can.
That's kind of full. I'm just thinking as an admin, Philip, because there's still this conversation about bounties. Maybe this is kind of quite spread out. I guess this could be kind of budged up, and there could be a section down here for bounties. I think Dimitri's saying, I wouldn't mind the bounties showing a player's area in my server. We always do a PvP, RP sort of scenario, and we struggle with getting players together to fight.
I already said
it's just a checkbox, right?
I will look at the bounties and we will see if we can like add it. But there are some features which are more.
Yeah.
Definitely. How will Brexit affect the value of the space credits?
Well, politics. Hey, Frogtown, please you're enjoying it. You've joined the game at a good time as well, Frogtown. You know, we've got some really exciting stuff. We're kind of just showcasing tonight, coming soon. So.
Why does the space start give you planet-based GPS? I see. On the start, you always have the closest one,
which might be on the planet.
which might be on the planet.
If you happen to start,
it's interesting that you probably spawn it close to the planet. Then you are lucky one. In space, it can actually happen that you don't have the close. Like there is a. I think 150 kilometers or something radius, so you can be unlucky, but the space itself is hard, like even it says in tooltip, and it's actually even harder than before, including the resources. So yeah, play in space if you want some challenge. Can you buy PCU? Yes, you can from the other players. Is there something like faction PCU? Yeah, there is a mod like per faction PCU. Can the admin control PCU for players? Yes, they can control. They can set how much.
Yeah, I'm just. If you wonder what I'm doing, guys, if it's not obvious, I'm just. Hold on.
Can we display faction logos on LCD yet? No, it's not in the public test yet. And we will see how we can do it because
it's rendered, ain't you? That's the problem.
It's not about render. It's more like there is just this drop down. Imagine that you have a 60 or I don't know how many logos people will put there. It would be mass in this drop down. So I was maybe thinking some client-side script which would show faction.
Okay, or maybe.
Or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Faction of the owner. So we'll see.
Sorry, I was just trying to fix this out. It turns out apparently this doesn't have... Oh, Aragaf overhauled this. Ah, I see. Changed...
As a server owner, will we need to run server wipe when the update goes live? You don't need to run server wipe.
Sorry.
You can just enable economy and that's it. But I would suggest to like wipe the word probably, because there are some new word settings. You can check the session settings or word settings. There are new multipliers for harvesting and amount of resources in the world, which is pretty much connected with economy.
You were right about the build though, Philip. This has like The one, as you say, doesn't have a large cargo on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have
'Cause
cargo.
it used to. The one I saw, the Smocky's original one did, but Aragath converted it to kind of a survival kit
There's
one.
this red moon. What's the name? I don't know.
Rescue rover?
There's a moon something rover, and that one has a cargo, but doesn't have the survival kit.
Yeah.
But you have a survival kit, so it's a better buy, I think.
Yeah. I can put a
second one. But
cargo on quite easily.
can we add prefabs to spawn as stations via mods? Yes, you can. Custom factions. Yes, custom factions. There was already this feature before, so would it be possible to mount 0G? What is the ATA on the patch currently? What kind of patch? You mean the release, the update?
Depends, isn't it?
Nothing public at this moment. We are like public testing, and we will see if there are any like serious issues. Then we have to go through all the QA, so testing properly all the game, like rest of the system, if you didn't break anything.
I'm extending my rover here. Connect. Oh no! Don't tell me I haven't unlocked connector
Yeah,
yet.
you didn't. I think you need a landing gear. No, try. Yeah. So you need
The small converter, it's not
small
too bad. I can do that. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, have I not unlocked conveyor? Wait, what? I have to build something first before the conveyor. Oh, I had to build the medium cargo. Okay, fine. Need interior plates.
Can admins rename the default AI factions for RP servers? There is a special SBC file for the names, and they're pretty much generated from two parts, so you can like mod them as you want. Okay, maybe like 3 more questions, guys.
Yeah.
That's a nice seed.
Where is this stored in? Survival kit. Where do I get interior plates from? Let's see. Okay. There we go. Nice.
Guys, give me some economy question, please.
Yeah. Economy, please. Let's see.
Or public test if you want to know what's in something specific.
Okay, now I can do my connector. Good. I don't really need the connector, to be honest, actually.
You need it like... It will not work with the station, you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't actually need the connector. It's, my vehicle's now kind of... it's a bit wonky now.
You could make like conveyor and up.
Yeah, there's a way of doing it. I could have fixed this. And more computers. Pound against the space credit. Yeah, we're super hyped though to see you guys how you get on with this public test. And you can bet the guys will be paying close attention. I think today's been great though. Like once we got past the, I didn't save that world with the LCD screens. Shame.
Could I assault another player in gunplay and force him to drop some of his ST? Well, if he has some in his inventory, you could, but the account is like digital.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I don't think the players will like carry money.
Well, the only way you could do it is if you blackmail them, I guess. Like you could have someone's ship surrounded, right? A faction, no escape.
Give us
and
money.
like wire us this amount of money, else we're going to destroy you. You know, that kind of thing, or we'll steal your ship. So I don't know if this will happen, or you know, but I guess that's what could.
Will the public test continue to the weekend?
Hopefully.
If there are no issues, then yes. So 2 more questions.
By the time you finish that, I would have finished grinding down the rover and finished ready to move on. I'm going to go back to that same oh no, I should have done. I should have actually. Well, let's do a couple of things. Let's go check out the unknown signal. Oh.
Do you have one?
I did have one.
You waited too long.
I waited too long. It just despawned.
15 minutes despawn.
Oh my god! Literally 5 seconds. of Me saying that it despawned. Energy.
I'm really looking forward what people will do with the space credits.
Yeah, man.
I saw some like chat on Discord that people will like do some gambling machines.
I think Climb is working on a casino right now. He said something. Are you there, Climb? Yeah, and what was I gonna say? It's a beautiful site right now. You know the LCD screens, the economy, the new screens, which I'm going to quickly show you guys in a second as well before we get off here. But do you know if Joachim's going to update the stations, the NPC stations, to have these screens now that we have them?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. I guess there's a lot of work actually to go. There's other things, but
it's not in the public test. No. What's my favorite feature in public test? Well, trading. I really like trading. So buying, selling stuff. And you can actually start from in this public test you have 1 million credits, but you can start from 0 or from like nothing. And without even like building or without assembler, you can start like making grids and buy your ships. This kind of
it's a different gameplay,
different approach which you can do now.
Yeah, you can choose to. I still say if you want to be a lone wolf out just on your own, mining, grinding, refining, classic space, you can do. This is just
and those little little features like that. If you visit the station, you can buy hydrogen. You can sit in seats, so you can like recharge your suit. And you can buy these new consumables. So these little features are like the cool one.
I'm on the move, Philip. I've got my stuff. I'm going to go back to the station now to see if I can sell some stuff. Because I've now got some spare components. I'm going to see if we can make some more money. And hey, if we're lucky, especially in the acquisition, maybe we'll be able to buy a ship and fly around. Because were they selling? And they weren't selling data pads because they were selling PCU chips. Because if you buy data pads from a station, those data pads can contain coordinates for another station. If you see what I mean.
Will the economy model be different between online and offline worlds? No, it's the same. But in offline world, if you are like alone, I guess it's easier.
Someone mentioned in the end game, how will space credits retain their value as players end up with millions? The thing is, the economy will, if you start buying things a lot of them start selling, the prices you'll get, inflation will start to happen, and space credits that were 100,000 will go up to 150,000 or something. So suddenly everything. The idea is, of course, there'll be some people who will kind of amass credits, but if they start buying a lot of stuff, those that currency will start to lose value. If you see what I mean.
The economy is pretty much
or game.
Like, I would say almost standard faucet sync style. You have a faucet, which is a contract system, and you have sinks like consumables, zone chips, transaction fee, listing fee. Those are sinks in the economy. And of course, if you break the ship and destroy it, then that's the sink too, because you lose the money.
I'm just going to save some time here because we're running out of time, so I'm just going to quickly pace my vehicle. Hold on, don't blow up, please. There we go. So skip forward a little bit here because I was running out of time. So here we are, back at the same station that we bought the rover from. You can see the bleep bloop here. That was kind of cool. The end. Boop.
If you attack someone who is mid-contract, would you be able to steal that contract? No, you cannot steal contract, but you cannot like complete yourself. But for example, for howling contract, you can like ruin it for the guy, or what you could do is like sell him that package. So you could say, give me. That's probably some debug left over.
No, yeah, sorry.
You could like there's a package for howling contract, and if you kill someone, the package is in inventory. So you could send him message. I will give you the package if you give me half the money.
Exactly. There could be all kind of things which only time will tell what will happen. So we're back here, and this is the ship seller, but I'm hoping that they either acquisition contracts. That's probably too hard, but at least we can try and sell our components here. So we can come here, come to the store block. Again, let's refresh there. And you can see that the ATV survivors respawned. It's gone up in price actually. It's gone back up a little bit. If I do sell, they are buying. Okay, so I can sell them one of these. Ching. And they also are buying radio components. They do it's little money here. 4,000, 7,000 here and there. I feel like Philip. All vehicle traders should also sell gas. Like they're like a station, right? So we gas them up, right?
Like we thought about it, but it's like the miners and the traders do. Right,
and then they all should.
And then there is a
basic living right.
There is like 1/3 chance.
Okay.
If you visit some station, there will not. Like it's like.
Oh, okay. So I'm unlucky then.
Yeah, unlucky.
These guys are out. They're out of fuel or something, I guess.
So it was like, okay, I'm like in space. I'm flying around, and okay, this station doesn't have. I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, bad luck. But yeah. Depends.
I've taken out some space credits. Just throwing my money around, just throwing around 1,000 credits in the ground. It's quite easy to lose it. Like it's just a little flimsy thing there, but this could equally be 1 million credits. That could be a 1 million credit thing, and I could just walk away and leave it as a surprise for somebody. Look at that beautiful view today. Oh, I didn't check under the pillows. Let's see. Maybe we'll get lucky here.
Any plans on refueling stations in the economy? It's already there. The miners and the traders are selling hydrogen and oxygen, so you can like buy fuel from them.
I'm going.
Will contracts now complete even if items are split between character? No, you have to select the cargo, or you have to select grid or character. Because the grids and characters are not like connected closely to each other, so it would be like a little bit weird, maybe.
Oh man, trying to find the beds. Aha! No. No.
Okay guys, one last question, something interesting.
There was no money under the pillows on this.
No.
Is there a random thing or is it placed?
It's a random.
Okay.
And not just pillows.
And I'll give myself some credits here. Cheat in some credits. Give myself cool 100 million. Boom. King of the server.
So the last question, will modders be able to implement banking? Well, there's a banking system as BC file, so they can change, I think they can change name, icon, and they can change the starting amount.
I just bought a 26 million space credit freighter. Let's take a look. There it is. This is my ticket. Oh, it's not. I was going to say my ticket. It is my ticket out of here. It's got hydrogen. Nice ship. All right. So I've also ordered. He also ordered a small ship. That's this is atmospheric only though. So let's.
Where did you get the money?
Oh, I just hacked it in.
Yeah, you cheated.
Just because we're finishing up here.
It's okay.
I just wanted to show again how you know if you got further in the game how you would you don't pretend if you're terrible at building ships. And you just want to have a nice looking thing, then now it's possible. Just save up your space credits. Hold on, I'll put it down here. Okay, this is going to be my atmospheric explorer. Oh, let me guess. Oh, it is docked on.
You cannot lock landing gears in safe zone.
Oh, that's a problem.
That's one of the new features. You have to be outside.
Okay, so I got a ronde. Right.
Will we ever see randomly spawning pirate bases on planets? Well,
oh, very nice ship. Look at this.
The pirates are actually they are trading faction.
Whoa.
So if you are lucky, you can have pirates NPC station on planet. It's about
really?
like it's about random.
Oh.
They can even have like they can be like they are normal faction. They are just hostile to everyone.
Yeah.
But they have stations too. And don't worry, they don't shoot. They don't have any like weapons on stations.
Like semi-friendly pirates.
They're semi-friendly, but they will not trade with you unless you are pirate.
Pirates only trade with pirates. Right, so I'm docked up. I've got 2 ships I've just bought with my muns.
And encounters, no, we don't have encounters on planets. Yeah.
It's time to fly. Ow, just crashed, don't mind me. Time to leave this rock. Head for greatness.
Encounters on planets, not at this moment. It's not in the economy.
Yeah, I left the rover. I guess the rover will it despawn eventually? My rover I've left there.
Is it like powered?
Yeah.
Then no.
It's there. I can go back and pick it up. It's my ride on Mars. I should have brought it with me, but this is it's in a carrier, so I've upgraded from a rover.
Do landing gears disengage if you fly with them active? to the save zone? No.
You just can't lock.
You just cannot lock. And we added this to prevent people like locking
Yoink.
to
Pulling
the
people out of
station. Or like you lock the grid near the doors so no one can go out and in. Yeah, that's why we.
Oh man, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Look like just blocking the doorway.
Yeah.
That would be so. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad you guys. We got a lot of questions. A lot of good conversation about a lot of the mechanics. Marek's here. Do you want to pop on? Give a little wave, Marek.
See ya, guys.
Yeah.
See ya,
Thanks,
guys.
Philip. Thank you very much for answering all the questions.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Marek's is here as well. So yeah, Marek's pretty excited about this as well. What do you think of the economy, Marek, and where it's going?
Yeah,
You
very
hyped?
good. Yeah, very good. Very big change and also visually very nice.
Yeah, definitely. Those safe zones with the effects and all that stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think you haven't been on a stream, I guess, since it was the last update, the last major update, probably.
When we did the style pack
Yeah.
and the little things that we did with the style pack.
Exactly.
I cannot remember right
Yeah.
now, but I think that was the last time.
It's very beautiful though here. So I've just kind of cheated some. I've got like 10 million space credits, and I've just bought a freighter and I've just left. But we've been asking a bunch of questions about it, and we've had some really good feedback actually from even the chat tonight. But it's cool to see so many of the feedback that the community left has already been implemented. Looks like tweaks and balance and all the rest of it. So people hyped. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see how this will change the overall gameplay in Space Engineers, like for them, like how the community will start. How the community will actually react to this. Like up till now, they were playing Space Engineers some way or some ways. Now there will be this new one. So my question is basically if some people will abandon the old ways of playing Space Engineers and just jump on this new economy, like way of playing, or like there will be a new breed of players just playing this and not the other styles.
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is it's like an alternative. There's no one's forcing you to use this way or the old way, and some people aren't interested in the economy. They just want to have their own little mining and refining and assembling. But I say for people who just want to do more mission-based stuff, and they don't want to build, some people aren't very good builders or they're slow builders. You can just save your pennies and build a good ship, and then continue your journey and just get up and up and up and up from there. So it's totally up to the players how they want to do it. All right then.
Good. Yeah. So I'm going.
All right, man. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. See you
Bye-bye.
soon. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. All right, guys. So we made a space without doing any work. I've cheated, of course, to get here, but still. Just showing you how potentially your journey in Space Engineers can look, and I'm actually, after this conversation, I'm really hopeful that we can see both the ship selling and also this bounty stuff and some of the other things that you guys directly fed back today. There is some exciting hope there, I think. I'm gonna go back to the first world. I'm just gonna save this, I guess. It ain't easy being cheaty. I'm going to show you guys once again who joined late just some of the new stuff, and then we'll wrap it up. And then I'm going to go grab some food and go home. And I'll be streaming later today, and I'll be doing a playthrough on a server with a bunch of peeps. So you can catch me later, and we'll be seeing in more detail how the survival plays out on a server. I mean, I would join an official server, but probably they're all full. Let's have a little look here. Oh yeah, keen tests are pretty full. All right. There's a 32 player one, Peter dedicated, but yeah, all the official ones are maxed out. So I'll see if we can get a server set up later. NA2. What are you guys playing on? If you are playing on one of the servers, let me know. Hey, an ID for Eugene. The live test is now, right now. You guys can check it out. I think Blitz will put the link in the chat one more time. Yeah, and you can check out the update and this public test right now and get stuck in. And the main thing is that it'll be until tomorrow. If things go well and there's no issues, we'll be doing it over the weekend until Monday. And if things still are good, then we'll leave it until Friday, so we can potentially have a whole week of this test being live. And it'd be great if we can do that, so we can really test how things will progress over time, right? So that's something I'm definitely excited for, but no confirmation. We really have to see. So yeah. So I think it's been very insightful for me today as well, having Philip on, discussing all the thoughts here. I won't put them all. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just put 3 of them down, and then I will have like them flicking through the different screens rather than put them down on different ones. So you guys can quickly see the different LCD screens that we have. So first one. All right, let's come in here. I need some music, apparently. I'll put the game music on this time rather than the... There we go. So, content, text, images. We have the standard ones, and the new ones we have. The first one is store. So let's add the store. And I'll have an interval of 5 seconds. So we'll add store, we'll add charts, we'll add SE here, we'll add coins. And single coin, and yeah, there we go. This one I'll have all the blueprints on. So blueprint 1, blueprint 2, blueprint 3. I'll put all the put all the graphs on this one. Graph 1, graph 2, graph 3, graph 4, graph 5. Interval of 5 seconds. On this we can do 5 seconds. You see some of the new screens. A couple more. I guess I'm see what else we can split it up into. And this is just for you guys who join us a bit later, but of course you'll see them all when you jump in the game. What haven't we done yet? Clear adds like this kind of LCD effect. We have the SC logo 1 and SC logo 2, faction. Trinity we can add there, and then the final one. I know what I'm gonna do. Just try and mix it a little bit. Oh, I didn't do the. Yeah, more decoration options. You could say, yeah. Especially, mainly good if you're going to set up your own shop, right? So let's do. SC logo 1, 2. The poster I wanted. Poster, trade, badge, and then I'll leave Keen Software House and the SE ones for the final one. SE logo 1, 2, and Keen Software House. We got it. It's all of them. I think that's all of them now. Yep. There we go. Turn the light down. You guys can see some of our latest decorations. Well, LCD screens. I really like the blueprint ones. I really like these ones. Get your space credits. Get your space credits. so many breaks, because it gives us time, it gives us a bit breathing room, Ace, to take it away and to fix the issues and then come back. So people focus testing, you know, rather than having it live and trickling in, just have it live for a period, see how it's looking, and then open it up again there. So yeah, I love the jump drive one. Got the graphs. And the final ones. Some really cool icons here. And finally, the fact that you can change the colors. So if I come in here again, these can be adjusted. I don't know if this will be adjusted. If I come and change the background color, that's right. Oh. Apparently some are broken. Let's see. But this one, for example, the blue one, and the training one, that can be red. Looks like one of them might need some yes, the badge needs correcting there. Let's try this one as well. Make this one bluish. Yeah, yellowy. There we go. Alright then, guys. Only other thing that I want to show just quickly is the kits, and then we'll be drawing it for a close. There's med kit and then the power kit. But you guys have used these. These are just nice new models from our artists here. So there we go. Yeah, wait, yep. Oh, wait. Yeah, here we go. The one-time boosters for either your energy or your health, which are purchasable, which can be purchased from the NPC stations. Alright then, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you got your questions answered. There was lots of questions that were answered, and if you have any more, I can try my best to answer them later when I go home, and after I eat, I'll do a stream later as well. So if you had any more questions, feel free to stop by and I'll try and get them all done later as well. But for now, please do and get stuck in with the test. Leave your thoughts and feedback both in the form and also on the feedback site, and we'll see you guys for a keen stream very soon. All right, night guys. Oh, music's just gone. Bye.